uh, Gladys was telling about coming up here at Liberal to catch the bus, and there was a woman and her husband and 3 small children, it's practically babies, standing out in the cold. And Gladys said to them, they couldn't speak English, you know. She said, "Why don't you go inside?" And she motioned, and they said they won't let us. So Gladys went in there, and she gave them an ultimatum. The people in there, she said, "These people are coming in where it's warm," and said, "I don't want to hear of anybody." She was a school teacher by then, and she kind of knew how to handle things. She says, "Those people are freezing out there," and their little children said, "You ought to be ashamed of yourself." Said, "They're people just like we are." And that was the first Spanish people that she'd ever seen or spoke to. And so they went in very quietly and sat back in the corner, waiting for the bus to pick them up. And the bus did come through there. That was coming through Liberal. We was up here. And they wouldn't even let them come into the where you waited for the bus.
So you think it's a total different, Liberal's totally different now.
Oh, yeah.
It's more Spanish than.
Oh, yes, yeah.
In
Yeah,
fact, the other day when I left here, I saw those Spanish kids getting ready to come. I don't know if they were going to sing for you guys.
They did?
The whole group, it was all Spanish.
Yeah.
About 40 or 50 Spanish.
Oh, they come in and sang. And they were the below the ones that could go to school. They,
Preschoolers.
preschool. And this guy that led them, he was really Dutchy. And he was standing back there by me, and I said, "I used to teach the little preschoolers." And he said, "God bless you." And yeah, it's entirely different now.
What did you expect to see in 2004
Oh, my.
before?
When the thrashing machine come in, my dad wrote to his uncle, and he said, "I believe progress has gone as far as it can go." And he explained the thrashing machine to him, and he kept that letter, and we still got it in with our writings. And we all laughed about it, and David said, "Well," he said, "when that airplane flew over our house, I knew that that was the last big thing that was going to happen, you know. That was going to be the biggest thing that was going to happen." And then the submarines came in and all of that. But we just treated it like, boy, it was something great, you know.
So did you ever dream of, what did you dream of when you're little that would be happening at this time?
Oh,
Like in 2000?
well, I think my dream was just right there. This one man come in where I was playing with my doll. I always got a doll for Christmas. And I was pushed a chair up against the dresser, and I had climbed up on the dresser, and I was sitting there playing with my doll, and he sort of surprised me. He walked in the bedroom where I was at, and he said, "Little girl, what are you doing?" And I said, "None of your business." And so he went in and he told Mom, he said, "You know, I asked that little girl in there what she was doing, and she said, 'None of your business. This is just cute.'" And Mom says, "Well, I think that was pretty sassy."
What do you think about today's youth?
Today's youth,
Yeah,
well,
teenagers and
sometimes I think they're out of hand, but I think they do pretty well. Yeah. When the boys went to Gate to play baseball, they had to go in an old, one guy had an old Ford that didn't have a top on it, and part of them rode in that Ford, and that was while we was at Greeno. And as they was coming home, you know where Knowles is, it's kind of round. I don't know if it's still that way, but you come down this long hill, and so they blew a rod, and they cut a wire off of the farmer's fence and put it up on its side and put a new rod in there. You know, they knew how to fix everything. And they said, well, the professor and a couple of the